So there should be a thing that shows up that you just click OK. And no, you do not have to. Okay, you do not have to attend these sessions. I will say that in my experience, the students that are able to attend the sessions do well, and the ones that don't attend, it's a mixed bag. Usually the people that aren't able to pass the course are ones that can attend. I want to say that I don't think I've ever had a student who attended a course, consistently attended and failed. But that, I don't know, I might just be making that up so that y'all think I'm a great instructor.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I'll try and attend like as many as I can, but I work like Monday through Friday, so the time kind of is hard, but I'll get there.
Yes, I get that, and I am very mindful of that. And please don't, yes, I'm here to help you in any way I can. And if the live sessions are helpful, awesome. If they're not, don't come. And all I want for you all is to pass or get a 4.0 or whatever you need. I just want you all to be successful.
Cool. Thank you.
The bottom line. Okay. So it is 1:05, right? So we're 5 minutes in. Let me just introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Eric Brown. I'm your instructor for this semester. There are two classes that are meeting at the same time. So this is the MAT 130.I, where's my notes? I3 and I4. So some of you are in the Canvas course shell that is .I3. Some of you are in the Canvas course shell that is .I4. You know what? I don't know why I'm telling you it, because it doesn't matter to you all. It just matters to me to keep track of where people are. So there's potentially, I think, 60 people that could attend these sessions if both classes are full. That's never going to happen. I'm quite certain. So the class you're in is quantitative reasoning. That might be scary, but this is probably the best math course for you to take, because you might actually use this in your life. That's how it's structured. If you're afraid of algebra, awesome. We do very little, if any at all. We let the calculator do all that work. If you're afraid of reading, you're not going to be by the end of the class, because that's all we do in this class is read and talk about numbers. I love this class. I happen to be the lead faculty member of it, so I write everything. So anything that's messed up is my fault. And there's lots of things that I messed up at the beginning here, so I apologize for that. Hopefully we'll get things fixed tonight. I had some wrong meeting times in there. It was a mess. So we'll get that all fixed up. Let's take a quick look at the syllabus. So I'm sharing my screen. Here's the syllabus. I just added it, I think, this morning to your Canvas shell. It's under the syllabus documents, and it should say the 130.I3 and I4 syllabus. The things I want to highlight, first off, we are meeting Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 3. That's a live synchronous sessions is what we call it. I am recording as much of it as I can. I'm going to be hopefully breaking you all into smaller groups to work through problems together, and I can't record that, unfortunately. So that's the part that would be missing. I wanted to note here, it says office hours. This should say tutoring hours, because I want to trick you into coming to them. And sometimes people think that, I don't know, office hours is a scarier kind of sounding thing. So virtually you can attend these hours 8:30 to 11 every day of the week. If you want to come to my office, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be in my office at the main campus. You just come on in. You don't need an appointment to come to these. You just show up. There is a book associated with this class, a paper book that costs, I believe, $36 from the bookstore. It looks like, okay, I'm just gonna have to stop blurring my screen. There you go. Now you can see all my Legos in the background. Yes, Maya, yeah. All of those hours are virtual tutoring, 8:30 to 11. I'm always going to have a Zoom link up that you can just pop in if you can't come to campus and don't want to come to campus. Totally saves time, right? And gas and all that mess. So just drop in at those times. I'm there. It'll be like this. I kind of have a crazy semester. I'm teaching 6 sections of math this semester. So I probably have close to 200 students that potentially could, if everyone showed up at once, boy, that would be a party. But yeah, just make use of those hours is for sure. It's not the greatest hours, I think, for lots of people because it's morning. So you can also make some appointments with me. I just need some heads up and we can meet outside of those hours. So this textbook looks like this. And it's a consumable textbook, meaning you are going to be completing the work in the textbook as we go along. So the way this class is structured is that you fill out the problems in the book as opposed to me filling all the problems for you and you just writing it down. It's kind of a mixture of active learning and collaborative learning and all that mess. It works pretty well if you get into it. Part of the rationale for it is that you will determine exactly where you're stuck and I will help you get unstuck in that moment, as opposed to listening or observing me work through problems and you saying, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully it does if I'm doing my job right. And then when you go to practice, you're like, I have no idea how to do this. So we reverse that. You're going to try the problems, figure out where you're stuck. I'm going to help you. Your classmates are going to help you. That's the idea. So that's the textbook. There is also a course pack that is all the worksheets that you'll be turning in. And I have it available here digitally. So if you're a person that has like a pen, you can write on screen and you would like to do things that way, don't buy the course pack, just do it digitally and turn it in. If you're a paper and pencil kind of person, I believe the course pack is like $4. The paper version from the textbook or from the bookstore. They can ship it to you. I don't know what the price would be on that, but that is what it looks like. Okay. So let's talk real quick the structure of this class. There are, now let's look at it here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories of how I take your grade. So 6% of your grade is your class participation, and I measure this exclusively through these lesson checks. They're quizzes is how they're listed in Canvas, and they are simply one of the questions from the course pack that I grabbed that you type in the answer. So for example, this very first one, can I please preview it? It says enter the answer to question 4 on page 11. And then I try to help you see what that question is. Our class time is working through this textbook. So in class, we should have had this answer done. If you can't attend class, you have to work through the stuff kind of on your own and get help outside of class. And then you'd come here and enter your answer. And that's how I measure that you're participating in class. You then have an online component of homework called the AlexPy. And I super screwed up this one because in Canvas, there was this Alex access code. And before today, it was the wrong code. It was the code for a different instructor. So this code is unique to the course you're in. This code happens to be the one for I3. There's a different code for I4. So if you were on top of on your best game and already got into ALEKS, I need you to re-register into this. If you already did work in there, it will transfer over into this one. And I'm also going to follow up with an email for anyone who enrolled in the wrong course, which is my fault, not any of yours, and make sure you get enrolled in the correct ALEKS course. What ALEKS looks like is this, and what the pie looks like, or what it will look like when you finally get entered into the place is, wait for it, this. And you're going to be asked to do a tutorial right away. You're also going to be asked to take an assessment. And you want to take your time on that first assessment, because that first assessment is determining how much you know. And if you get everything correct, you'll have less homework you have to work on, because you're deemed as already knowing it. If you fly through it and don't really answer anything, you'll have way more you have to work on in ALEKS. In other words, the goal is to only have you work through problems that you don't know yet, that you might need help with, as opposed to working tons of problems that you already know the answers to, or you already know how to do. Okay, last thing, 50% of your grade are projects. So when COVID hit, we were worried about how can we make sure we're accurately measuring our students' understanding of the material, and exams, online can be kind of easy to cheat, and then we wouldn't get good measurements. So we switched to projects. I like them because they take away the scariness of an exam. Like, most people don't have project fears. It's just, did you put in the time to complete the project? So know that if you turn in all the projects and you do well on them, you're going to pass the course. The midterm and the final exam put together are 20% of your grade. So the focus is not on those one-shot assignments that you have to sit down and do at a particular time. The primary measurement of your success and understanding is in these projects. So hopefully that helps you feel good. If you can put in the time, you ask questions, you're going to pass this class, hands down. Even if you're scared of math or hate math or whatever, you can make it through this class. Okay, I think that's all I want to talk about on the syllabus. Let me pause here and ask you all if you have any questions. Anything, any questions based on what we covered or what you've already experienced for the course?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I was wondering if there are any opportunities for extra credit, like if we're doing our best and doing everything that we can do, attending classes, attending tutoring sessions, and we're still not like getting one particular part of something. Is there any opportunity for extra credit? Or is that like a case-by-case basis?
You're not going to need it.
Okay.
Promise? So, are you telling me that you're not excited for this class? Is that what you're saying?
I'm nervous.
Good, good. You won't need it. You're going to, so the extra credit, the math department has a policy of no extra credit. If you're a person that's working, you're going to be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you will probably 4.0 it. So yes, don't stress. This is the class for a person that is nervous about math. And I might be the instructor for you. So one of the things is there's due dates in Canvas, right? And I think they're all wrong. I might need to change them. And we need to talk about, when do you want things due? I'm a person that understands that you all have lives, and that while this is important to you, there are other things just to survive that might be more important. So I am extremely flexible with due dates. As long as you're communicating with me and doing your best to keep up, awesome. I'm gonna give you credit for the work you've done. Couple comments in the chat box. Yes, if you registered for this class for Alex before today, you got into the wrong class. I think you can just go into your Alex account and click register for a class, put in my code, and you'll be into my class. And whatever, if you did work in the first class, it will transfer over. And then I'll get you out of that class once we've fixed it all up. Is it Maya or Maya? Am I pronouncing help me pronounce your name correctly?
It's Maya.
Maya. Okay. Did I answer your question? Do you feel good about that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm so glad you had the courage to say you're nervous. I guarantee you're not alone. I guarantee that maybe 90% of everyone else in this course is nervous too. I'm a math instructor. It is rare that a student comes in and says, I love math. This is going to be awesome. So you're in good company. Yeah, see, Latoya, look at you. Good. I'm all about honesty and openness in here, and I am here to help you all succeed 100%. I am not here to tell you you're bad at math because you don't know something yet, right? So anytime you feel like you don't understand a question, even if you think that's so simple, I will talk you through it. I'm going to do my best to assume that nothing is simple. Because here's the reality with math. It's simple if you've studied it and understand it, right? Math is easy once you get it, which is kind of like duh. But then that also means if you haven't studied it, if you haven't had a chance to get it, it's not easy. And if I say anything like, oh, this is really easy, that's a terrible word. Don't let me say that. Call me on that. Let me share my screen again and show you all where the code is. In Canvas, so I'm currently in the 130.i3 course shell under syllabus, homework links, digital course pack. Here's this Alex code, and it's changed. I updated it. You should just be able to select it like this and do Control-C, and then go to where you have to enter it and do Control-V, and it should show up. That's the shortcut. If you're in the 130.i4 class, I will go there. Right now I have way too many classes in my Canvas thing. Here's that code. It's the T4KTN. So Jennifer, is that showing up for you? Does that help? What class at the top right here? What does it say for your class? There's a decent chance I'm teaching 3 sections of this. Yeah. So Jennifer, you're the in-person section. No, wait, how is this not show? Did you go to syllabus? Oh. Okay, I clicked the button. I didn't publish it. Now it should show up. Thank you, Jennifer, for helping me. Good gracious. You're gonna find that I hope you all can be kind and patient with me. Okay, good. It's published there. It's been a wild ride these days. Okay, so we got Alex. The codes, we're correcting my mistake there. We've got that the primary assessment in here is your projects. So you have roughly infinite amount of time to work on it within a deadline. as opposed to a exam that has to be done within like 2 hours of time. I haven't published the projects yet. We'll take a look at them pretty quick here. And then the other thing that I didn't mention is that we'll be doing worksheets. Hopefully we'll have time in class to do them. So for each section, there's a worksheet associated with it. If you look in the thing here, there's a link to the digital version of that worksheet. So you can download it if you want and fill it out on screen. If you go and purchase the course pack, that's what you have. You will get this. And what you will be doing is writing your work on the page, whether digitally or pen and paper, and then submitting it as a PDF to this link. So like worksheet 1.1. I think my internet's slow because I'm converting the previous class that I just taught into a something. Yeah, so you would go here, and I think there's a place where it's like submit this assignment, and it has to be a PDF. If you don't know how to do that, I would love to help you if you're doing it paper and pencil. If you have a cell phone, a great option for converting a picture into a PDF is Cam Scanner. It's a free app. I'll spell that for you. There's also Genius Scan, I think. And then if you have an iPhone, the notes thing will scan your paper and do it automatically for you. So those are 4 or 3 options. There are other options. Maybe you have a scanner where you can scan it in like on a printer or something. Like I said, if you need help with that, please ask, and I will be happy to help you. Okay. There's like a student absence thing in here that maybe if you all are big readers of the syllabus, and it says something like, oh, late work will not be accepted. I like to leave that in there to scare people, but I just turn your work in and I will grade it. I will say sometimes that policy is can get some students in trouble, because if you know you don't have to turn it in on this day and I'll still grade it, you might wait and not do it. And you know, the procrastinator, that's who I am 100%. Terrible procrastinator. That can get you in big trouble. So I put due dates in there so that you'll be on track. So if you're meeting the due dates, in my opinion, you're going to be fine. If you're not meeting them, let's work together to help you meet them. There is this thing, like if you're not showing up to class, if you're not participating, I have the right to drop you. Really, the important thing here is just let's communicate. Let's talk to each other via email, or I guess that's the only way you can contact me right now. If you're not able to log in and complete assignments, something happened in your life, let me know. If you're just silent and I'm emailing you just saying, hey, what's going on? I see you haven't turned in an assignment in 2 weeks. I'm worried about you. What can I do to help? At some point, if I don't hear from you, I might drop you from the class because it looks like you're not working, and let me just get that off your plate so you don't have that stress. I don't do it to be punitive or anything. It's kind of supposed to, I guess. Okay. Let's do some class. Let's get going. Boy, too many things happening. Oh, there's chat stuff. Let's see. What are you all saying in chat? Christy, I don't know if I answered your question. You have clinicals Tuesdays and Thursdays. The good news is we don't meet Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you won't miss anything on those days. We only meet Mondays and Wednesdays. Oh, Jennifer, you answered the question, and Christy, you got it. Okay. Nice. All right. All right. Good. See, you all are already working together. All right, let's get familiar with Zoom a little bit. I don't know how many of you are big Zoom users. I'm like 39 years old and kind of old, I guess, and I'm not, I've used Zoom, but I haven't used it a lot. So here we are. How about I might ask for some reactions from you. So if you look down at the bottom of the screen, you should see a toolbar. Oh yes, Christy, everything is going to be recorded that I can. If we break into small groups, which we'll probably do at some point, I can't record the small groups. It's just Zoom doesn't have that feature. So those are the times that, yeah, I just can't do it. Okay, so if you look down at the bottom, you should see on the far left the mute button. Can you all just unmute yourselves and maybe say hi?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yay! Okay, awesome.
Hello.
Let me see if I can mute you all. Oh, I'm supposed to have a power to be able to mute you. I should practice that. Okay, so wait, why am I muting myself? I'm supposed to be talking. Sometimes like people forget to mute themselves and there can be background noise. No worries, doesn't make me angry. I might mute you just so we don't hear the background noise, but boy, I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. So I just muted someone to practice myself. I just muted someone again. Okay. Let me try one other thing. If you hit spacebar, at least on my computer, it mutes and unmutes you automatically. So that's another quick way to do it. How about this? I'm going to proctor the midterm and final exams on Zoom during class time, or maybe I'll pick some other time as well. So what I'm going to do when that happens is I'm going to ask you to turn on your camera so that I can watch what you're doing. And we're going to try to set up your camera in such a way that what I'm seeing is your work. So we'll have to figure that out when we get there. So I'm hopeful that you all have cameras that you can turn on. One of the things about me as an instructor, I'm an instructor because I love people, not because I love math. And the online environment makes that difficult. I like building relationships with people. I like hearing your stories. I like being a part of your life and helping you get to where you're wanting to go, wherever that may be. And this course is some part of that, I'm sure, to get you some degree. So I want to be a part of that success in your life. And the online experience kind of separates us. It puts us away from each other. So turning on your cameras can help with connection. I am never going to ask you to turn on your camera except for exam time. And right now, y'all want to see if you can turn on your camera? And if you don't want to turn it on, that's okay. You don't have to turn it on. I want to respect your right to privacy, and you're definitely welcome to. Look at you all turning on your cameras. That's so exciting. Yay. So I know that you all have cameras. Fantastic. And if you want to leave it on, great. If you don't want to leave it on, oh boy, that's fine too. Yay. So sorry, I'm just now having something happen I didn't expect. Let's do this. Okay, awesome. Thank you, you all.
I can't tell. Is my camera on?
Let me see.
It's not.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And it's okay if it's not working now. We'll figure it out at some point. I think you did have it turned on, but maybe there was light wasn't picking up or something, because the way it shows that your camera's not turned on, at least from my end, is your name is on the screen. Like when I turn my camera off, you should just see Eric Brown. And then, you know, when I turn it on, there I am with all my magnificence. So we'll figure that out. Okay, next thing, you all are doing fine with the chat. Is everyone good? Everyone knows where the chat is. If everyone could just say hi in the chat, that would be great, so that I can see we're all good with the chat. If you're wondering where it is, it's down in the bottom next to participants. Yay, I see you all saying hi. Nice. One thing I want you to note on there is right above where you type your message, there's this to thing with the colon, or the cement, yeah, colon, and you should see everyone. You can click that and you can send a message privately to anyone in here. So if you have a question that you want to ask me that you don't want anyone else to see, you can click my name, ask your question or send your thing, and it'll come just to me and no one else will see what you asked. I will say, if you ask something about math, like, hey, I don't understand how you did that privately, I'm going to respond to the whole group. I won't say that you said it. I'll just say, hey, someone asked this great question about this, and then I'll talk through it. So Jennifer, great question. You don't actually have to purchase any of the paper materials. You can use the digital book. There's one in Alex, and there's, if I didn't put it in yet, there's a Bibliu. Yes, there's a Bibliu link. There is right in there. Boy, I'm gonna have to check on the Bibliu. It looks like it may not be working how it's supposed to. But there is a way to get to the textbook through Bibliu. And the Bibliu textbook is a little nicer than the Alex textbook, just in terms of the digital reader. I will encourage you to have a way to write things down. There's enough research showing the connection between writing and like memory that it's useful, especially in math. And so I like students to have the paper version of the textbooks. You can write in where the questions are. Makes it easier to go back and look at things. Oh yes, if you have an iPad and you've got that digital thing in there, that's wonderful. I'll have to send you all the PowerPoints because, well, I don't know. We'll have to, Jennifer, you let me know if you're using the digital textbook, if it's working well. In terms of the course pack, definitely. You got an iPad, writing on there is going to work really good. I'm just thinking about like saving things. And then Carly, I clicked on that Bibliu and it didn't show up for me either. So I need to follow up with the Bibliu people. All I'm seeing for me is my stat lab. Okay, so I am going to, yeah, I don't think it's working for anyone. So I'll get that figured out as soon as I can. What's going to happen most days is we'll start as a whole group together, and I'll get you started on what you're going to work on in small groups in the class. So our goal for today is to work through section 1.1. And here it is. So I have all of the questions in the textbook in PowerPoint form. And we're going to figure out a way, I don't know that I have it figured out quite yet, to make it so that you can have a screen and you can write on a screen as a group. And then what's going to happen is you're going to be working in groups of 3 or 4. We have 8 students here, so I'd make 2 groups of 4, and you're going to be talking through these problems. So I just saved that. Where did it go? Oh, what was in there? Okay. And most likely what we're going to have to do because I'm using Zoom this semester is we'll have to do some Google Doc things where we can all write at the same time. Your textbook looks like this, and in many ways. There's a beginning like prep skills where it's like, hey, you're going to need to know how to do this stuff in the class. And when you take your ALEKS diagnostic exam, many of the prep skill questions look exactly like this. The assumption is in the course you're in, you know all that. I am not going to assume that. I'm going to talk through everything I see. But that's the assumption for the 130 versus the 130A, the co-rec part. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn these 4 things. These are the objectives for what we want to know when we get through lesson 1.1. The first is, can we convert between decimals, fractions, and percents? And then can we do calculations with all that stuff? And then we're going to find this very specific thing. There's actually a formula for it. And that is what's the percent increase or decrease? And then what tends to be the most difficult question in this first unit is solving different problems using percents. And then finally, we're going to use all that knowledge to look at legitimacy of claims. That's the goal for today. So maybe I should quick ask you, how many of you all have access to this material? Let me do this real quick. How about I upload that file? And then anyone who doesn't have their book yet can have access to this. So you can open this right on your computer, and I can do this for every single thing we do. I think this might be, like for you, Jennifer, those that are working digitally, this might be the best way to take notes because you can save this PDF with all your work on it. So I just added that link right here. If you click it, it will open up that PDF and you can download it right to your computer.
I have a question real
Oh,
fast.
please.
So on my JetNet course, it's not showing up that you've like posted anything. Is that because you haven't posted anything or?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I was just making sure because I was like, oh goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
The good news is it's not because I'm a slacker. It's because nothing is ever going to be in there. It's all going to be in Canvas.
What is that? I didn't.
I'm so glad you asked this.
Sorry,
I'm sure
I've
you're
never.
So here's the backstory. Jackson College is switching learning management systems, LMSs. So we used to be in JetNet, and we're transitioning now to Canvas. And the unfortunate reality of that is that not every instructor at Jackson College is switching to Canvas right away. All classes will be in Canvas next semester. So this semester, there's this messy, some people are in JetNet, some people are in Canvas. And what was decided is that course shells or courses would be made in both JetNet and Canvas at the same time. So if you go to the homepage and you click on My Courses, you'll see a login to JetNet and a login to My Courses, which I don't know why it doesn't say Canvas. I was supposed to put in a message here in JetNet that said, your course is in Canvas, ignore this, but I didn't. Sorry, that's the irresponsible me. Oh, Jennifer, I got to add it to the other course. Thank you. Let me do that in just a second. So you're always going to go to this one to log into My Courses, and you'll find the course that we're working on in your list of Canvas courses. You're going to see in Canvas all of the courses you're taking this semester. And they might not all actually be done in here. Does that help, Kaylin? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you again.
You are so welcome. The other problem is it took me a while to get things published for Canvas. Like y'all didn't see anything until Sunday of last week or of this week. So I've been way behind. Let me upload this PDF to the I4 course, and then we'll get rolling. Are there any other questions y'all have as we're moving in? These are great questions that everyone's asked so far. Keep them coming. I've got my 8-year-old and 5-year-old home with me today, kind of sick. They kind of conned me into their sickness. One of them was actually sick and the other one wanted to be sick, and they're here. So if I ever like run out of the room all of a sudden, it's because I'm going to save my daughter's life or they punked me. Okay, Jennifer, it should now be there. The lesson 1-1 thing. Okay, so we've talked about what you're about to do. Now, what I'm going to try here, we're going to see how this works, and we'll get some feedback. I'm going to create, awesome. I'm going to create 2 breakout rooms, and I'm going to randomly assign you the 8 of you or the 7 of you into each of those breakout rooms. So one room is going to have 4 people in it. One room is going to have 3 people in it. You will have the ability to share your screen. So I just made it so that you can all share your screen. If you look next to the chat button, you should see something that says new share. If you click that, it will open up a box that allows you to select a screen to share. So you can select your entire computer. Like that's what I'm doing right now. So when I close this, you see everything that's open on my computer. Like that I enjoy the game Fallout 4 and Heroes of the Storm and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So you see everything that I click on. You can just share the one thing that you're wanting to work on, and that's this. What I'm going to ask is that one of you in the group share your screen so that you can all be on the same page about what you're talking about. And what I want you to do in your groups is work through questions 1 to 5. Okay. So that's pages, that's up to page 8. So is everyone clear on what's happening? I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to create these breakout rooms.
Hi, I'm sorry. Before you
Please.
create the breakout rooms, I have to kind of leave early to go to work, so I won't be able to join the breakout rooms. So I just fill out the worksheets then and I submit them for when I'm not here for the groups.
I'm so glad you asked that question. So let me share my screen again. This is good for everyone. So this stuff is your notes. And I really want everyone to work through these problems. There's the definitions, and sometimes you have to fill some stuff in. There's practice problems in there. This is like the lecture portion of a typical, what you may have experienced in the past for a math class, where the professor stands up there and says, here's everything you need to know. The difference is you're doing that together with my help kind of in the background. The stuff that you're going to turn in are the worksheets from the course pack. So that is that first worksheet I showed you all, the 1-1 worksheet, which is practice, which is problems of what you just learned. So if you, so this page 4 and 5 is the first assignment that you're going to turn in. The one other assignment you're going to do is that lesson check, which is we're always going to answer. We're always going to answer that question as a group, like at the end of class or sometime before everyone leaves. So when you do the lesson checks, there should always be a recording of the answer in class. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it made sense. Thank you. I'm sorry
Okay.
I have to leave early, but thank you.
That's a-okay, not a
Okay.
problem at all. And you all, I'm super flexible. We'll see how this goes. I get, like, if you have a noisy background, and things are difficult, that's totally fine. You participate with whatever comfort level you have. You can always type things in chat, and they're not worried about turning on your mics. You can turn on mics and talk. For me, if there's background noise, that's totally fine. That's life, and we're all living it. You're probably at some point, my daughter might run in here and say something, and they rarely wear clothes, so I'm going to really, I mean, they have panties on, but I'm going to really try hard to make sure that doesn't get recorded. But it might happen, or a cat might jump on my screen. That's life. I'm not going to mind. I'm guessing your classmates aren't going to mind too much either. We're all in this together is the idea. You know what, Jennifer, I'm going to have the same issue in the future. My daughters get out of school at 3. Actually, my daughters go to Paragon High School. I don't know if anyone knows about that place. And I live about 15 minutes from there. And so, yes, you're so fine. We'll see. I might have to end a little early sometimes too. I'm going to try not to, because you all paid for this. Okay, other questions before we try out the breakout rooms? All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And so remember what you're doing in your breakout rooms. You're working through that PDF, questions 1 through 5, which is like that. The last page that you're working on is page 8. I'm then going to bring us back together. We're going to talk about how it went, and we're going to adjust what we do based on how you felt about that. So I'm creating the breakout rooms. Let's see, I got to remember if any of you said you had to leave. I think we're good there. So, oh, Heather, talk to me. Which part is confusing? Because I know you're not alone. The first day is always wild anyways. We'll all get a hang of this. Let's start with this. See if we can't get everyone in the breakout rooms. And let me see, yes. So I'm gonna click open all, I'm gonna open them up, and there's gonna be a thing on the screen that shows up and says, join this breakout room, something like that. And you're gonna click join. That means you're all gonna leave this big group place. No worries.
I think I'm just overwhelmed because I'm just now finding out Canvas with this class here, and I'm trying to figure out Canvas like this, like it's all hitting me at once. So I don't know what I'm doing. I was sitting here listening. I don't know. So I feel like I just need to kind of work through this on my own for a minute. Does that make sense?
So that's, yeah, Heather, I love it. So how about this? Was everyone able to open the PDF I loaded in Canvas? Were you able to do that, Heather, specifically?
Yeah, was that for the book?
Yes.
Yes,
let me share my screen again. So
I'm looking at it right now. I don't think it helps that I'm on my phone with the Zoom and I have my laptop with the book and everything. So
well, that might actually work out okay for you. It might help.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I'm so glad, Heather, you had the courage to say that. I know you're not alone. I'm learning Canvas too. So we're all we're all brand new to this learning management system. Oh yeah, great question. Okay, where is Canvas? So if you go to the homepage of Jackson College, at the very top, there's all these different things, email, blah, blah, blah. You want to click My Courses. And there used to be a thing that popped up and said, hey, you might have courses in JetNet or you might have courses in Canvas. This link right here is the Canvas link. So for my class, you're going to go here. It will probably prompt you to enter your password, your account login stuff. So that's going to be your MyJCC email with whatever password you have with that. And you should see a bunch of courses in here. Now I have 16 courses that show up on my screen, but that's just because of whatever, it doesn't matter. You will have however many courses you're enrolled for this semester. So if you're taking 4 courses, you will have 4 little tiles in here. The one that is this class is the one that says either MAT 130.I1. Is that right? Nope, that's the other instructor. You'll have MAT 130.I3 or MAT 130.I4. One of those two. When you click it, so I'm going into the I3, this is what you should see right off the bat. It's like this home page and all this mess. And I'm going to collapse all of these modules is what each one of these things are called. So the Zoom link for class, I emailed it through Canvas to everyone. It's also right here. You just click this each Monday and Wednesday at this time, and here we are. I know, Latoya, I'm like, why does it say My Courses? I so agree with you. It should say Canvas. And then how I have the online stuff laid out is I have it by week. So this first week is week 1. At the top of each of these weeks, it says what class session, when the class sessions meet. And some of you were emailing saying, I don't understand. It says Tuesday, Thursday, but your email says Monday, Wednesday. That was my big screw up. I forgot to fix that, and it is now fixed. Then there are 2 things in here. There's the lesson checks and the worksheets. So the goal for this week is for us to get through lesson 1-1, and then you would turn in the lesson 1-1 worksheet and the lesson 1-1 check. How's everyone doing with that part? Is that okay? The thing we're going to do today is this one. So I've uploaded the worksheet here. That's what I was wanting you all to download, and then you can work off of that unless you have it on in your paper textbook. You are most welcome. And then I'm going to ask one of you in your groups to share your screen to work on questions 1 through 5. Yeah, Latoya, that's the idea. You can either purchase the course pack from the bookstore, and I know that you're not local to the area, so they're going to charge you shipping. It might be $12. I would hope it would be less. Or you can print it all out yourself, and then write your answers on there with all your work. I love to see work. Take a picture of it using Cam Scanner or Notes or whatever to convert it to a PDF, and then upload it to that spot. Upload it here to turn it in. I'm hoping that if I can manage class time, I know I'm taking like a whole hour to talk through stuff, but it's really important that we feel comfortable with the technology. But I'm hoping that most class periods, we will have time to work through all of the questions in the worksheet, as well as all of the stuff in the lesson. And then all you have to turn in is the work you did. Great question, Jennifer. They do have course packs in stock. I know, I was there. They printed a couple hundred of them. I know they have paper versions of the textbook in stock. If every student in all 12 sections of 130 bought the textbook, they might not have enough. But not everyone buys. I think there should be enough. There has been issues that Jackson College has changed 1,000 things all at once. So Heather, I'm so happy to do this. Please, I just need to hear from you. I want to do what's going to help you all. So please ask me to do whatever it is you need, no matter how simple it may seem. Okay, how are we feeling in terms of being ready to try the breakout room stuff? Great, Christy. Yes, these are listed as quizzes, but I'm going to give you the answers to them. So remember, let me open this one up again and I'll show it to you. They say it's a graded quiz. That's just how it's programmed in here, but it actually goes in as class participation, which is that 6% of your grade. And they literally are, what's the answer to question such and thus on page such and thus? So this one is, enter the answer to question 4 on page 11. So if I go to my PowerPoints, the PowerPoints don't really match up with pages. That's where you might want to work off the textbook. Oh, here comes one of my daughters. Get ready. Here is the quiz question. Find 20% of $79. And it's based off of this. I don't know if we're going to get there today. Maybe, hopefully we'll get there. Yeah, Latoya, you're going to need the book. That's what this is. Although if you're comfortable working off of what I have up here, these are always going to be available to you. I'm going to dump all the PDFs of each lesson right into each week that they work on. And if you want to work off this, awesome. If you'd rather have this paper version and you're writing your stuff right in here, that's awesome too. In my opinion, that's better in terms of learning, but that doesn't mean I'm right, if that makes sense. One of the things I hope you all are experiencing here, and that's super important to me, is that you understand I'm human. I'm not some like mythical person. Sometimes the idea of a professor is this super intelligent person that's up there trying to prove to you how smart they are, and you better get it right, and you better cower at my feet as you work through this class. Like that's not me at all. I'm very average intelligent. In terms of intelligence, it may look like I'm really, really intelligent as I work through the math, but listen, it's just because I've taught like probably 50 sections of this. So I just know it really well. You could do the same if you wanted to. So I am one of you. I forgot to say my name's Eric. Please address me that way. You don't need to say Prof. Brown or Mr. Brown or whatever. You can just say Eric. Please help. Yeah, I'm here for you. Okay, that's my philosophy of teaching. That's my philosophy of how this all works. So please take advantage of that. Okay, let's try this breakout room thing. This is where, for those of you watching the recording, I can't record, so that's going to pause when the breakout happens. Just one more time, you're going to start here at question 1. You could even read some of this together. I'm asking you to talk to each other, either by typing or by turning on your mics and that. And you're going to work from question 1 up to question 5. And I think the first thing I'd like you to do is say, hi, my name is such and thus, and I love math because I'm going to make more money or whatever, or I hate math because something. Just introduce yourself to each other and have at it. You're working together to be successful. Okay, so I've got the breakout rooms. I'm going to click the button, and you all are going to click your buttons and join in there. If you want to turn on your camera and say, hi, this is me, I'm scared like you are, let's be successful together. Awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. I will be kind of jumping in between the two breakout rooms, just in the background, helping. So first, we're going to get you all in the rooms. There they go. So there should be a button where you click join. Okay. So the majority of class time is going to be what you just did, with me jumping in and out to answer questions, to help where it's needed. Sometimes in the past, when everyone's clicking really well, like I just sit here and do nothing because everyone's talking and working and filling things out, and there isn't much for me to do. Other times I'm in and out answering questions. So this is, in my opinion, the best way. Students are most successful when they work like you all did. So hopefully more people can come to class time. That's the part I can't record. So those of you that can't attend, I'm sorry, I wish I could. Okay, that. I think the technology will get a little smoother. I'm gonna keep trying things to maybe make it easier for everyone to work together. I'm going to share my screen right now. I think the easiest way to do this would be to have the PDF and be able to write on the PDF. So I have this opened in, I think, Microsoft Edge. And then up along here, I'm able to click and draw. So I could use my mouse. I also have a pen. I think that's helpful. That might be helpful for you all. I know in the one group you all were, I had the grade book open, shame on me. You all were in Canvas and had it open in there, and I think that's a little wonky to try to scroll through things. Having it just as the PDF might make it easier to scroll. Okay, first, I just because we're just starting and things are going, I want to fill in the answers here. And if any of you want to add or whatever, the first thing that's super important to me is that you know this. Percents are like a super misunderstood thing. And all it means is divide by 100. That's what per 100 means. So if you ever are like, oh no, I don't know how to convert a percent to a decimal, you just do what the definition of it is. So if I divide by 100, this disappears. In fact, the super mathy way to write this, you don't want to leave the percent in there when you write it. The correct way to write it is say that this is actually equal to this. Notice I've dropped the percent and added division by 100. And then if you're not good at doing this division, you jump to Desmos. This is the calculator I told a bunch of you about. There are a couple different calculators. So there's this graphing calculator, there's a scientific, a for function. You can download this to your cell phone. There's a free app if you want. The one I want you to use is the graphing calculator. It looks a little different than the scientific calculator. They do the same thing. The reason I want you to use this one is in Unit 2, we're going to be exclusively using the graphing calculator. All of the graphing stuff we do in this class will be done right here in Desmos. Couple of things to note on Desmos. You can just type things here. And so if you know how to type the stuff, like if you want the mean of 3 numbers, oops, I put an N in there. You could do that and it returns it for you. Now, if you don't know the commands, there's this show keyboard button over here. And here you can use the keyboard to type all kinds of things. And then there's this function button. We won't be using much of this. In Unit 4, we'll be using some of this stuff. Okay, so I wanted to turn this 84 over 100 into a decimal. So I could go here and do 84 divided by 100. The default is to give you a decimal. Did you all notice the connection between division by 100? Anyone want to say what it is or chat it? Like what happens when you divide a number by 100 every single time? What I'm essentially asking is, not this, but this you should know. This is important. It's what you answered here on question 4. To convert a percent to a decimal, drop the percent sign and move the decimal point blank places to the blank. Did you all get that? Nailed it, Latoya. 100%, yes, becomes a decimal. And you want to move it 2 places. Yeah, I had to think through which hand I was talking about. 2 places to the left. Nailed it. Let me write that down and then let's demonstrate it. 2 places to the left. So it can be kind of tricky. Like if we look at this 41%, you might be saying, where's the decimal? It's right here. You could put a 0 there if you wanted. It's a placeholder. And so if we're wanting to convert this percent to a decimal, we note where the decimal is on the percent. We move it 2 places to the left and drop the percent sign, and we get the correct decimal version of the percent. Now, personally, I would rather you understand that what is actually happening here is you're taking 41 and dividing it by 100 to turn it into that decimal. That's what I'd rather you know. Yes, Jennifer, nailed it. So we can do that in Desmos. Just type 41 divided by 100, and there's the decimal version. If you want a simplified fraction, you click this button. There it is. There it is. Back to a decimal, click it again. Okay, let me close my email. My email is going to be blown up today. Okay, so let's go back to this ridiculous problem that he throws at you. He's like, hey, let's turn this 37.5% into a fraction. So when he says write his hint here, I'm just going to quickly talk through this. You may remember from your elementary school days where they're like, hey, with a mixed number, you multiply the bottom times the whole number and then add that result to 1. In other words, you do 37 times 2 plus 1. Let's see, what's 60, 74 plus 1, right? And 75. So, and then because the denominator was 2, we would write that, we would leave that as the denominator. How's that feel for everyone? By the way, this might be the difference between Common Core math and not Common Core math. This is what we would call an algorithm of how to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. Thanks, Heather. Good. I'm glad you feel good about that. But like, do you know why you're multiplying 37 times 2? Do you know why you're adding 100 to it? Do you know why you leave a 2 in the denominator? I don't even know if I could explain that necessarily to you. Actually, I can. I think I do know why. What he then says is then multiply the numerator and denominator by something that will eliminate decimals to make it easier to reduce. I actually don't know what he's talking about there. I forget what he's talking about. This is still a percent. So if we want to do division, we then have to write this like 75.5 divided by 100, which is like what we call a complex fraction, and it becomes this massive grossness that we don't care, honestly, because no one is going to ever in their lives do this by hand. Everyone has a calculator in hand all the time. So what we're going to do instead is write out that as a mixed, what the mixed number means. To me, I hate mixed numbers. They're like the bane of our world, because what this means, 37 and 1/2, is it means 37 plus 1/2. That's what it is. Thanks. But if you remember things in the math world from your experiences, when you write two things next to each other, it means multiplication. So this could look like multiplication. It's not, it's actually addition is what this notation stands for, which is why we do this multiplication by 2 and add 1. So we could do that in Desmos, 37 plus 1 divided by 2. There we get 37.5. Remember, that's a percentage. So we take the 37.5% and divide by 100. We get the decimal. Click the convert to a simplified fraction button, and you've got the correct answer to what he wanted on that problem, to what the author was looking for. 3/8. All right, here's the crazy, maybe exciting thing about all this. The only thing we want to use in this class really is the decimal version of these percents. We want the 0.375, we want the 0.41, and we want the 0.84. And the reason is, when we want to calculate a percent of something, we're going to have to convert that percentage to a decimal to do the multiplication. You could do it in fractional form, but most people hate fractions. And who wants to multiply by 84 over 100 when you could just multiply by 0.84? Now, of course, the argument could be made, if we're using Desmos, who cares? Because Desmos will do it all. And I'm with you on that. Okay, how are we feeling? 3/8? For that one, let's see, this one was supposed to be 42 over 100. If we were doing this by hand, I think we'd divide the top and bottom by 2, and you'd get 21 over 50. Again, I don't care if you know how to do it by hand. Desmos is doing it just fine. 42 divided by 100 fraction. Yay, I was right. If you want to impress someone at a party, I guess you do it by hand. They'd probably have to be really drunk to be impressed, right? Okay, then we were at, hey, how do we convert these to decimals? So 12%. At some point, you might get super good at this and not have to think about dividing by 12 and just write it as 0.72 or 0.72. Awesome. If you're working it through, yeah, Jennifer, use the calculator all the time, 100%, please. I've had some students, I had one student that I'm wanting to, fantastic student. She was older and was coming back to college just for fun, because she'd done her work, raised her kids, done the full-time job, and had sacrificed, she said this, so I'm not giving things away, had sacrificed for her family by doing the full-time job, and had wanted to go to college, and was now coming back to go to college just because that's what she always wanted to do in her life. And she hated using a calculator because in her day, that was cheating. If you have that thought in your mind, throw it away. This class is 100% about technology. Use it. Okay. Sometimes it might be useful to go from a decimal to a percent. And so we just reverse that. Literally what we're doing, if we take a decimal and want to turn it into a percent, we're multiplying by 100 and slapping on a percentage sign. So this becomes 34%. Now, if you notice what happens, we are moving the decimal place to the right. Yikes, to the right. 2 places to the right and dropping the percent sign, or adding the percent sign. I don't, this is. Right, so then 0.07 becomes 7%. The tricky one, 1.658. There's a whole number as part of that decimal. Totally cool. It's just 165.8%. A big percentage. All right, we got 12 minutes left. So let me first ask, where are you all at with this? How are you feeling? Maybe the question I really want the answer to is, do you know what I would like you to do between now and Wednesday?
You want us to do the homework in the course pack, pages 4 and 5?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, do that. No, so I was expecting everyone to say no, because like, have I made it clear what you're supposed to do yet? I feel like I haven't, but that was a really good guess. We haven't completed section 1.1. So really, you're not ready to finish all of the 1.1 worksheet, that page 4 and 5. I think it would be nice for you to go take a look at it and see how much of it you can do. I think what I would really like for you to do is fix all my mistakes. And by that, I mean, get yourself into ALEKS using the correct class code that I finally have in there, and see if you can't take that diagnostic exam. Schedule some time for yourself to do it, maybe an hour of time. And if you can't get to that yet, that's okay too. And that's it. Well, and then like decide how you want to work with the materials. Do you want that paper textbook and paper course pack? See if you can't try to get those picked up between now and Wednesday. If you can, if you can't, that's fine. Between now and next Wednesday. And so get ready, get everything compiled and ready to go. And then, yes, Jennifer, you beat me to it. That's the next question. How do we feel about due dates? What would be best for you all? And I'm so open to hear what you all want for due dates. So I'll even put it,
Previous
ahead.
classes, they've always been like Sunday at like 11:59 that I've taken, but we can do whatever you guys want to do. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm always on top of everything, so I normally get them done like the day of you assign them, so whatever's fine.
Well, thank you for that, Caitlin. I'm very sorry that you have me as your instructor because I'm not as on top of things. So you might get a little frustrated with me, but I will do my best.
Could we maybe think about like open deadlines? Like say, this is due by Friday, but if you need extra help, let me know. And we could push it back.
So yes, I often don't like to tell students this outright, but that's 100% how I operate. No matter what deadline I put on there, it's what I call a soft deadline, meaning try to get this, but get it done. You know, do the work so that you learn it. So turn in something you're proud to turn in of that you know you've done your best work on and it's ready to go, instead of like just turning something in to meet the deadline. The reason I don't like saying that is because if you're like me, and you know that, you won't do any work till the last week of class and then you'll fail because you can't get it all done.
Gotcha. No, I'm like, I'd rather turn in something that I know I did a good job on, as opposed to just pushing in like just to meet a deadline, because I do that.
Love it. Yes. Yes. Okay. So what I have done in the past is, I'm with you, Jennifer, and I think Caitlin, you said this too. I have made due dates on Sunday at midnight, so you have the entire week to work on it. some instructors like to do it like the beginning of class. So you would have due dates on Mondays and Wednesdays, and they do that so students who wait to the last minute don't email them on Sunday nights. To me, it might be more difficult to keep track of like rotating deadlines over and over and over. So having one set deadline all the time is, I like the idea of Sunday, so you have all week. So I'm very happy to do that. I don't know what's in there right now. I think it's like every other day. So I've got a vote of 3 for Sunday and 1 of I don't care. Is there anyone else that wants to weigh in on whether due dates on Sunday are great or not? Okay, I like that. So I'm going to switch the due dates for everything to be Sundays. So what that means, let me share my screen. That means that for this coming Sunday, here we go. What you would have do is the lesson 1-1 check, the lesson 1-2 check, the 1-1 worksheet, and the 1-2 worksheet. I'm going to set for a due date of this Sunday. That also means that what we're going to accomplish in class on Wednesday is we're going to finish 1-1, and we're going to get through 1-2 so that we've covered all the material that the worksheets are going over and that the lesson checks are going over. So yeah, we can see that he has something due September 1 and September 6. Yeah, so what's programmed is like Tuesdays and Thursdays, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to get them all switched to Sundays. And so week 1's material will be due the Sunday of week 2. Week 2's material would be due the Sunday of week 3. That will be the setup. As I said before, they will be soft deadlines, meaning if you want to be on top of things and know that you're progressing through the course at an appropriate place, meeting those deadlines is what you should do. But they are also, I also know that life gets in the way. So maybe you have a bad week and you need some more time. That's available too. All I ask is that you communicate with me what's going on and how I can help you. The other thing we'll talk about on Wednesday is the projects, so that you have an understanding of the big assessment pieces that will be coming your way. And there's 4 of them, and they take a fair amount of time. I had one student once say, I hate projects because it takes more time than just taking an exam. I was like, well, I get that. Because an exam, I force you to sit down in one time period and get it done. Whereas a project, you get like multiple weeks to do it, and it's open book and open notes and open everything. So I don't know, to each their own. Okay, thank you all for coming. I'm hopeful that you feel good about things. I think I'm done with what I don't think, I know I'm done with what I wanted to accomplish today. I'm going to hang out here and answer whatever questions you all have. Otherwise, if you're happy with how things are, feel very comfortable signing out, and we'll see you on Wednesday. I might even pause the recording now.